Our AfterBuzz fans are so excited for your show. You've been getting a lot of comparisons to Total Divas, obviously,
Right.
and the Real Housewives franchise. So how would you guys describe the show?
Well, I feel like our show is different because it deals a lot with our relationships and dating, athletes. I feel like there's no shows out there that are like that. I mean, you may have the Housewives or like Basketball Wives who deals with the women, but you never see the relationships.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of those, ups and downs of, like I said, dating an athlete. So
Right. And there's also contrast. You'll see you'll see a big contrast between the single girl versus the wife, fiance and the wife. So there's a lot of contrast, and you'll be tapping into our lives, and it'll be a lot of fun.
We've heard about the hierarchy. So what is it? How do you explain this?
I would say, okay, when you're single, you can be replaced, and when you're a wife, it's a little bit hard to be replaced. Like for me, I'm a wife, and I'm not going anywhere. So, that's what I have to say about that. Yeah.
So I want to know, are there any girls on the show who are dating an athlete that weren't a fan of sports before? Like they don't know anything about...
I don't know.
I didn't really know much about football that much. Yeah, I didn't really know much until
Canadian, too.
I'm Canadian, and then I was never really into the sport. I never got it, and then I became Antonio, my husband's biggest fan, and now I'm like all into it. I'm like, go 85.
No, same. Well, I mean, I was always a fan of sports, but hockey is never big. It's not big over here. So, when I started dating Shell, he's like an ass kicker, right? Like he fights. So whenever he would get on the ice, I'd be like, yeah, babe, kick their ass, and everyone would be like, oh my lord, this girl's crazy.
Well, you're very competitive, though.
Yes.
I mean, speaking of WWE, you have that background.
Yes, I love competing, and I love that we both have that kind of, that we were a star in our own light, and I was in the athletic world kind of the same as him, and so we definitely agree on those things, and that's why we complete each other so well.
You have teamed up with our owner of AfterBuzz, Maria Menounos, at WrestleMania. So, I want to know your thoughts on Total Divas as well. What have you been thinking about that show?
I think it's great. I left before the show started, but I feel like for WWE, it's such a great thing for people to see what goes on behind the scenes and what the girls go through. So I compare a lot. It's exactly what I went through when I was there. So I think it's great for fans to be able to see that.
I've heard you've been turned on to watching WWE now because of
I was never into it, but now that Barbie is a fighter, I'm all into it now. Like she turned me on to it completely. Yes, you gotta teach me some moves, girl.
I got you.
Do you think we'll ever see catfights on the show?
This season, you definitely see some stuff, but I feel like as time goes on, there probably will be some.
Yeah, when you have a group of women together, it's inevitable. There's going to be some kind of drama.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, we all get along because we can all relate in some kind of way. Yeah.
And then I have to ask you as well, have you been following lately? Like, what do you think of the Divas Revolution that's going on right now?
I haven't really caught that, but I feel like whenever they bring up new girls and they, I think it's great because it gives the fans something new to cheer for, and I think it's just great to have new girls come up and kind of give, the veterans a little run for their money,
You've been in the shows too.
Yes, I have.
Awesome. So where can people watch WAGS when it premieres?
Watch WAGS only honey.
August 18th.
Awesome.
10 p.m.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.